Rich, how are you fixed for Friday? Dundalk injury-wise and all this. Few suspension. Aaron Bolger's back, is he?
Yeah, Bulger's back. Yeah, he's been training there the last couple of days, and he's looked good. Yeah, Ali's still out. I think he's another 2 games, so yeah, Ali be a bit of a loss for us. But yeah, injury-wise, Keane Barbary's still out. Alvin Wimbo has had a looks like a bad one with his knee, so we just have to wait and see just for confirmation on that. But that looks like a bad one. Jonas Hakkinen still 50-50. Jonas back on the grass and that, but we don't know how he'll be for Friday, so we'll just have to assess that on Thursday, you know.
Can you take encouragement from Friday, Rich?
Yeah, Trev, there was a lot of positives in the first half, I thought. You know, really good attack and play, created chances. I thought a lot of time we were on the front foot. Probably should have scored 1 or 2 more in the first half as well with the chances we did create, you know. There was some encouraging signs there, yeah.
Yeah, Tundi gave him a lot of problems, didn't he, in the first half?
Yeah. Look, Tundi's a handful. You know, he's got that pace in behind as well, which any defender struggles with, you know. He's a strong lad as well, and you know, in front of goal, he's he's clinical in front of goal as well, you know.
Yeah, 5 defeats in a row. Like, it must be tough for everyone in the squad, obviously, Rich, and for the staff, obviously. In that respect, like, is the mood down, or is there a belief that, you know, you can get a few results together?
I know there's always belief that we can get results. 100%. I think that if anyone looks at the games, we're in most games, you know. As I said the other night after the game, it's sometimes just them individual errors that we need to get out of our games and stay in games for as long as we can. You know, we are creating chances, we're scoring goals. We just have to just tighten up a little bit defensively. You know, like again, you look at the goals the other day. You know, we could have done better for them. You know, I thought. You know.
What's the most important thing now for the club where you're in at the moment? Do you think, Rich? Like, is it in terms of, you know, togetherness, patience, new manager about to come in?
Yeah. Look, obviously, we're all working behind the scenes here, and the lads are being professional, the staff are being professional. We're all in it together, as I said, you know, and we need to be. We need to be as a club that we're all in together. As I said again the other night, is that the way we can only look at it at the moment. We have to look one place above at the moment and keep in touch with that, and then afterwards, obviously, build for that. But to do that, you have to win games. So we need to win games pretty quickly, you know.
Any snippet at all? Any white smoke? Potential managers coming in?
No, I've been honest, I haven't heard anything. I'm just doing my job really, as all the rest of the staff are. I know there's a process going on at the moment, and I know that I think they'll be advertising soon enough. So, but all I know is that look, there's a process going on at the moment, and there'll be someone announced in the near future, you know.
Just looking at the fixture itself by name, like Cork City Dundalk was obviously a huge fixture in the calendar. Obviously, it's a different type of fixture now, isn't it? Where you are, I suppose, where Dundalk have slipped as well. Like, but
yeah, look,
2 massive clubs.
Like. Massive clubs, yeah. You remember all the cup finals, and you remember the 2 clubs going for leagues year on year out there for a while, and that, you know. And it's where we are at the moment. It's where they are as well. But look, what I would say about them is that they're a very good side. You know, they've got really good experienced players within that squad, and obviously Hoban's back now, you know, from injury. They've got 1 or 2 others after coming back as well, so I think they'll get stronger as the season goes on, because obviously they've been plagued with injuries as well, and obviously Stevie has a good way of playing as well, you know, and he wants them to be on the front foot as well. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting game on Friday.
Yeah, you beat him obviously back in April, so that was one of your best performances, wasn't it, as a full performance count?
Yeah, no, definitely, but we kept a clean sheet.
Yeah,
you know, and
that's key. Like,
that's key. You know, when you keep clean sheets, you get something out of the game. You know, and that's the big one for us, is that we need to get back to that and stop conceding silly goals and go and win games. You know.
Yeah, well, the approach is kind of similar than the game you beat them in. There's a different away from home, different approach.
A little bit different, obviously. You know, there's a different approach in terms of like Liam's philosophy in terms of that as well.
Yeah.
You know, he's come in and he wants to set down his marker as well. So. There's a little bit different there as well. Like, you know, like the day we played at the Cross, I thought we were very good in and out of possession. You know, I thought first half again that we created chances. Probably could have been a couple more goals up again. You know, as the game goes on, Dundalk went low the bench, and they had a good bench. Obviously, Hoban and a few more came on, and you know, caused us a little bit of trouble, but not major. But it was one of those that we were able to defend properly, keep our clean sheet, and get our 3 points. You know.
Yeah, just good luck Friday. Just one more from you, Rich. Obviously, club as a whole has a big game on Turner's Cross Saturday. Be encouraging kind of a crowd to support the women's team as well on Saturday.
Oh
Against
yeah,
Sligo, Turner's
yeah,
Cross.
brilliant. Yeah. No, it's look, as you say, we're all in it together, and I just don't mean the first team. I mean the women's team, the academies team, everyone. You know, we're all in it together here as a club, and hopefully people can get out and support the ladies. You know.
Yeah, get out and support live soccer, like. You know.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, and I see the work Danny's doing with the team, and you know, I know the staff are working hard. I know the girls themselves are working hard as well. You know, it should be a good game for people to go to. You know.
Thanks, Rich.
Just one or two from me. He started the other night and conceding an early goal, but he seemed to get to grips with things fairly quickly, and we're leading at half time. But the team in the second half, looking in from the outside, the effort they put in the first half, they kind of tired very much near the end, didn't they?
Yeah, there's a few different factors to that. You know, obviously we're coming off a third game. At the moment, we're very light. You know, we've got injury suspensions and that. So I think I mentioned afterwards is that we're asking the same players to go to the well all the time and that. You know, and you could probably see it. You know, as the game got on, that obviously a few lads were running on empty and stuff like that, you know, but yeah, just about them moments again, staying in the game, you know, that don't concede, you know, and that, you know, but it was just one of those that we're playing as a very good side in Pats. They kept the ball well in the second half. They caused us issues with Forrester probably drifting into pockets that hurt us a little bit, that pinned us back into a back five as well, you know, so they kind of got a bit of domination that way in the second half, but yeah, look, we've done our recovery. We had a later session yesterday. Boys trained well now again today, so we're just building back up again for Friday night, you know.
And like I suppose there are lessons to be learned for your younger players in games like that. I mean, you don't want to be learning lessons. You'd prefer if you were hanging on to a point or even get another goal and take 3 points. But we spoke about it, Chicky, and earlier. There is a step up from the first division. Massively,
and I think there's been enough said about that as well. Is that, you know, there's probably look at experience in the squad of playing Premier Division games. There's not many games in the squad, you know, that have played at this level. That doesn't mean that they can't play at this level, but as you say, I think that they're learning on the job. But again, for us all, we all need to get there quicker. You know, it isn't like we need to start winning games and that as well. You know.
And winning games, as you mentioned it, winning becomes a habit, just like losing games. Unfortunately, there's 5 losses on the bounce. But if you could get, you know, every game, as you said earlier, I mean, you've Sligo, you've Shamrock Rovers, you've Drogheda away coming up after this. So there's no game that you could say we'll pick up something there, you know?
Oh no. But then on the flip side of that, then you look at it as well, is that teams like, you look at Dundalk now, for example, when we beat them back in April and that, wherever they were going through a bad patch at that time. Now they're after picking up 3-4 wins in a row. They're back up the table. Pats have done the same. They've won games, they've lost games, and you know, it's been that type of league, you know. So for us is that one win could turn into 2 and 3, and then you're back up in the league, you know, again, like, you know. So that's what we need to do. We need to put a string of results together, you know.
Yeah, like you're right. A 10-team league, you could be third from bottom and win 3 games, and you'd be third from top. Like it's very, very tight. People don't realise that, I think.
Oh yeah, it's very tight. Look, at the moment, in the shorter term, all we're looking at is, you know, keeping that gap between us and Dundalk or Drogheda as close as we can, you know. But then after that, you know, can you build on again, you know? So look, it's that type of league. You're gonna get bad patches. I think a lot of teams, if you look around the league, you look at the top teams even in the league, they've had their bad patches as well, you know, and I think any team is capable of beating any team in this league, you know.
Right, thanks. Best of luck Friday.
Cheers, Rich.
Rory.
Good luck Friday.
Cheers, thanks.
Richie, hi, Mike.
Hey, Roar.
What's it been like having Liam Buckley around over the past week, and as coaches, what have you guys been learning from him?
He's very experienced, Rory. Very football orientated in terms of, you know, possession based, and he wants, you know, his teams to play a certain style, and that, and you see that probably in patches the other night, you know, that you know, he demanded that the boys, you know, play in certain areas and that, you know, and build up and so on. But he's very enthusiastic, and you know, very positive in terms of where he sees the team going as well. You know, so for us as coaches, you know, you just lean on that little bit of experience that he's had, you know, and the success he's had. Obviously, you know, has been through his methods and stuff like that, you know.
The Independent today, Richie, saying that Tottenham, Chelsea, and another club, West Ham, are looking at Joe Brian Whitmarsh. Is there any truth in that?
I haven't heard any truth in that. I saw them actually myself as well coming in this morning. Yeah, I saw them as well. Look, wouldn't surprise me, to be honest, because he's a very good player. You know, we can all see the quality he has at his age and that, you know. But at the moment, Joe's just concentrating on Cork City and getting his games here in the first team. You know.
Thanks, Richie. Good luck Friday.
Cheers, Rob. Thanks.
Richie, how are you? Paul O'Hare from the Mirror.
Hey, Paul. How are you? All right?
Good, thanks. Could I just go back to when you were just the injury updates there with Alvin? I wasn't at your game at the weekend, so apologies. But just in terms of, you were saying how his knee injury could be quite bad. Are we talking ligaments? Or are we talking ACLs? Or is
it could be either or at the moment. It's just the swelling is bad at the moment, so we just have to wait for that to settle down to see. But yeah, it looks a bad one, to be honest, Paul. Yeah.
Okay, that's obviously not great from him.
Look, it's 100%. It's not great. Look, he's come over here. You know, he's got used to the way of living over here, first of all, and then obviously the league itself. You know, the tempo that the game is played over here, and that, you know, I felt that the game itself against the Bows, that you could see the quality he had. You know, at times in the game and stuff. That I think, you know, for himself, whatever the injury is, he's going to be out for a period. I don't know how long yet, like, because we're just waiting for that to be confirmed. But it's a big blow for the boy, and it's obviously a blow for us as well here, you know.
And just one more for me, like, just in terms of the situation at the club, and you know, there will be a new manager coming in at some point. How tricky is that, just focusing minds? I know games are a great focus for players anyway, and staff, but just with constant speculation going on, you know, in any walk of life, in any job, if somebody new was coming in over you, it'd be a matter of conversation and a topic on the training ground or whatever. How easy or how challenging is it to focus minds?
You have to in this job, because you have to be professional. You know, you can't sulk and you can't hide in that. You know, at the end of the day, this is my job. I've got a family and kids at home. You know, I have to provide, obviously, the other coaches and that. You know, so you have to be professional, because if I drop my standards, then I'm not doing my job. You know, and like that's the way you have to look at it, and you have to be that way inclined. You know, if you start thinking about what's happening and reading news reports and all that, then you're going to be in your head more than you should be. You know.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Richie.
Cheers, Paul. Thanks.
Richie, how are you? John here.
Hi, John. Are you doing all right?
Good, yourself?
Good.
Just a couple of brief ones. Like last week with all the events on Wednesday night, it was a bit of a rush job, I suppose, to get ready for Friday. Has this week been a bit easier in terms of the roles and responsibilities, you know, in terms of the arrangements with the two Liams and Tech there with you?
Yeah, no, it has. You know, we've obviously planned the sessions together, and you know, we've kind of looked at obviously the opposition side of it, the opposition analysis, and the training sessions have been designed around that as well, you know, and we've all had our roles in it. Like, so it's just like, as I said just in the previous question, we all have to be professional and do our jobs, you know. And
just secondly, I know you spoke Friday about, you know, having to cut out these mistakes quick. Is there start at a level of pragmatism as well that's needed in terms of, if it has to be cleared, it has to be cleared, you know, that things are so up a higher standard that you just get punished, you know, for mistakes or lapses? Yeah. Do you know what? It just comes down to decision making at the end of the day, you know, when to play and when not to play. Do you know, maybe last year, you know, we might have got away with one or two things, you know, obviously the standard we're at now, we get punished, you know, the players you see, when Rainey's finished the other night, you see, you know, the quality that they have on the pitch, and that, you know, is that they will punish you if you make mistakes. So it is that keeping that concentration really, you know, and having good decisions on the ball, you know. That's great. Best of luck on Friday, Richie. Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Hi, Richie. How's it going? Sean here.
Hey, Sean. How are you? All right?
Yeah, good, thanks. Just going back to Joe, just wanted to ask, how impressed have you been with him so far this season? Obviously, I think 2 goals in his last 3, and he seems to be getting a good run of games.
Yeah, no, Joe's a very good player. You know, he's come through the academy again. Another one that's probably, you know, been here for a few years, and we've always known that he was coming. Let's put it that way, you know, and that you could see the performances that he had underage and with the Irish teams and so on, you know. But he got a bad injury, and he's come back. And in fairness to him, he's been very professional in terms of his rehab and what he's done. And he looks to me that he looks stronger now as well, you know, for his age and that, you know, probably for the work that he's done. You know, you see him in duels that he's able to deal with players now. You know, he's always been very technically good on the ball, and he's an eye for goal as well from midfield, which is great as well, you know.
He's just only 17, but he kind of, the last few games, playing like a player who seems a lot older than that.
Yeah, he does, and you know, you always get like when you're in the first team environment, when a younger player comes up, you can always know by the players, is that, are the players having them, and first session you can see it, like, you know, is that the boys were having him straight away, you know, and that, you know, you can see the qualities that he has, you know. And look, he'll get better, because one thing I would say about Joe, he always wants more information, you know. He's always looking to improve, and he's always looking to get better, you know. So look, the sky's the limit for him, really, like, you know.
That's great. Thanks very much.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Cheers, lads.
Sorry, can I just jump in? Sorry, one more, Richie. Sorry, if you don't mind. Just following up from Sean's question there on Joe, like when a young player like that is linked with big clubs like that, how do you, and he is 17, how do you kind of keep him grounded from that? How do you, or is there an onus on the player to kind of just disassociate himself from that type of talking, and how's he manage it, basically?
There's a bit of both with that, really, like, you know, as in, you know, the player himself obviously has to, you know, perform to get there, and that, and to us as coaches, obviously, you know, we have little conversations and so on during the week with him and stuff like that. But look, we've got a brilliant academy manager here, Liam Carney, as well, you know, and Liam's obviously experienced going over across the way, and he, you know, he's lived that. So I think for Joe, like that, you know, he's got people here that would advise him, you know, the rights and wrongs, they say, you know, of how to deal with these situations, you know.